Hello, my name is Danica. Just getting really bored with all this quarantine stuff, so I just thought I would do a makeup video. Some of you might not know, close friends, I'm actually really into makeup, but I can be outdoorsy and be an engineer as well. So I'm just gonna kind of go over some products I use that I found I really like, particularly for my skin. This stuff might not work for everyone, but if you do have some of the issues I have, this skincare makeup routine might work really well for you. Today, I'm going to do a routine if I want like a heavier, everyday makeup look. And I'll probably post another video where I do more of a lighter or if I'm in a rush. So I usually start with a cream. I actually just got a tester of this and I really like it. It's really calms my skin. I have rosacea, which is actually pretty good right now, but that's basically where your skin is red. So this kind of just calms it down. And I really love this stuff, so I'm just kind of put it over my face. I might look over here too, because I have a mirror over here. So when I do this, I use this setting powder, translucent powder, I guess what it's called, Extraordinary. It works really well. I think there's other really good powders out there as well. I've used NARS before. That can give like a little bit more of a heavy look, which sometimes you're not really looking for, but it is cheaper. But I usually just put it all over my face. So this is actually, I don't have a TikTok, but this is from TikTok. And it actually makes your makeup give it more of a shiny finish. If you put it on first, and then you put on a spray. So I use this NYX matte finish. I find it works really well and it's really cheap. And it's just as good as like the Tarte spray I found. I've seen reviews online where people don't like this as much, but it works really well for me, and if I can save money, I'm going to. So I don't think it's worth to spend a lot of money on everything. So just kind of spray my face with it. It's important to let it dry, because you don't want like your makeup to stay. But yeah, I learned that on TikTok. It like makes your makeup stay on really well if you do that, the powder, and then do the spray before putting on foundation, which I think is kind of interesting. But yeah, I'll wait for that to dry. I don't really know. I'm not like tech savvy, even though I should be because I'm an engineer, but I'm not that kind of engineer. I work in the dirt, so I don't really know a lot about technology. So yeah, I guess I'll just go over the primer I'm going to use today. I like this primer. It's the It All Day primer. I'm gonna say the Tarte primer is really good too, but another really good but it's really expensive, so I don't really know if it's worth the money, but it does work really well. This Benefit, the Pore Finesse, this one's really good too. I really like this, and this one's a little bit cheaper. Yeah, but this one's pretty good too, and I'm just gonna use this one today. So it's dry now, doesn't take super long, so put a little bit on your finger. Kind of just rub it in like you did the lotion into your face. A little bit more kind of on like my chin, seems to have really open pores in my nose, and the nose is really common. A lot of people, it's their forehead. But yeah, you can do a lot to help minimize your pores too, especially if you do wear makeup. Your pores are gonna get more clogged, and so it's important to really keep them clear. Okay, so next I'll put on my foundation. So I just got a little like tester of this, and I really like this a lot. But I'm also gonna go over some ones. This is the Yensa Color and Face BC foundation. It's a full coverage foundation. But I also really like, sorry guys, let me get it out. I'm kind of running low, but I like this CC Plus foundation. A sunscreen, like 50 plus sunscreen, which is really great. And you can layer it, so you can do a really light look with it. And it's really great if you have redness in your skin. And I also really like this Pearlesque one, this BB cream, and this one's like a lighter, natural looking coverage, which is kind of nice if you're trying to go for a more natural look. But I would say even though this is a full coverage, this is really natural, which is nice. So I'm gonna use this one today. Just take a little bit. So I know a lot of people, this is kind of a sponge type foundation, but just kind of dot it on your face. I haven't found a sponge that I love that doesn't just like soak up all my makeup, and so I just don't really use them. So I like this brush from Tarte, does a really good job, but I would say also just using your fingers. If anyone knows of a good sponge, please let me know, because I would love to know about that. But this brush works pretty well. It's like the Tarte foundation brush. It's like from their C collection, so it's really pretty too. I love like the handle on it. But yeah, you kind of just make sure that's all blended in. You want to make sure you get, so sometimes like down here, I feel like people will like forget, you know, and they like focus on their cheeks. But you want to make sure it's really blended in into your neck almost, so it kind of transforms. Say with your forehead, you really want it spread out there so it doesn't look, you know, like you're wearing a ton of makeup. So you can see, it really does do really nice coverage. So I'm gonna say another thing that I love that I use. So a lot of people who actually use a green primer. A lot of people really like this Smashbox. I don't know, I don't really like it that much. I feel like it doesn't really do much for me. It does a little bit, but not that much. So I kind of stopped using it once I found this Bye Bye Redness by It. It's amazing, like cannot go without. Like it's worth the money. But yeah, so it just kind of looks like this, and it's basically just kind of like a thick foundation or like a concealer, and I kind of just rub it in to the places, kind of hard to see here, rub it into the places where it's more red, which is my cheeks. So I'm really not that red right now, because people with rosacea know it kind of fluxes with how red it is, and so right now I don't really need that much. But it also really covers up if you have like acne. Like my friends, I've recommended this to them and they've used it on their acne. It just really gives that extra coverage that you're looking for on your cheeks. So like, yeah, my cheeks aren't really red at all, which is amazing. So yeah, I really recommend this. So next, I really like this concealer by Glossier. It's I forget what it's called. It's the stretch concealer, that's right. This stuff's really great. I'm not really a big fan of a lot of Glossier stuff. Oh yeah, but I guess I put it under my eye, sorry. So just like that. So you can kind of see, right? You want to blend it in because it can kind of show up, but it's really good for underneath the eyes. You can kind of see the difference here. So I'm gonna do it in the mirror for this one. So yeah, it does really well down there. Sometimes I'll use it in other parts of my face, but it really does just the best is what it does is under the eye. So yeah, I would really recommend that. So another product I recommend that I use as my concealer is this Morphe stick. I really like this. And I have like I would recommend getting a really light color, right? So like I have this pimple on my forehead right now. Does a really nice job of kind of blending that in, but yeah, you just want to tap that. Like put a little blob, tap it in. See, it's like a little bit more well hidden. It's obviously going to show up because it's pretty bumpy. You're not going to like get rid of it, but you can cover it up and make it look less red. A little bump down there. Cover that up. I usually put some right here. Right here. And as you notice, I accidentally tripped and ripped off part of my eyebrow. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a different than what I usually do for my eyebrows because of that. But yeah, even you can be really clumsy even when you've been doing makeup for a long time, or yeah. I had a friend, she ripped out all her eyelashes with her eyelash curler. And it was the most painful thing ever. But yeah, I also put it here too. And you can put it here too. These are kind of the spots you want to be lighter. And this just kind of lightens up your face. So again, it's right here, 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 and here. And it kind of just adds a little light to your face. A little bit of a contour. And this also works really great for covering up acne. Again, it's the Morphe stick, and I have the lightest shade in this because I'm fairly pale. So, all right, next I'm gonna do my eyebrows. So I kind of have a different routine right now because I usually just use the Benefit Gimme Brow Plus, which is amazing. This is like the best brush I've found. I've tried a lot of them too. I've tried the Tarte, I've tried the Urban Decay. This is the best one. And I really like the Precise Pencil Brow too. And they kind of come in fun packages too. But yeah, I would say this is definitely worth the money. I need to look around a little bit more. This is pretty expensive. And I'm not sure if it's worth the money because I found some other pretty good, like the NYX one works pretty well. And that's cheaper than this. So yeah, I can give you guys a review if you want. But I'm also going to use just this I think it's a Archer and Halos, just because I'm out of the NYX, and I've had this laying around because I wouldn't usually use this, excuse me, but because my eyebrows chopped off, I'm gonna use it. So because I'm clumsy, oh, it's going back in every day, it's better. And I'm like, so yeah, this is just me like covering it in. Again, not what you normally would do, but see, look how much better that looks. Like you can barely tell. So I think you want a darker, so why I'm using this one is it's darker and it's thicker than the Gimme Brow one, this pencil. But this pencil looks more natural. But there I kind of need a thick fill because I don't have it. But this, as you can see here, it does a really, you can see it right there. It's like really natural looking and really, it does rub off, but it's really doesn't rub off that much. But you can kind of fix it too, because sometimes, sorry guys, realized you couldn't see me. Hopefully you can see me there for the, so see, it kind of just like fills in your eyebrow. You can kind of see that compared to this. And then I'm gonna use this on this eyebrow just so you can kind of see. Yeah, I think I kind of just going on about myself, kind of got into makeup more recently. I was never super into makeup before, but I've always been pretty girly girl. So yeah, you can see there's some pause. So you can see, right, like that's a pretty stark difference. And it looks really good. This stuff is amazing. But yeah, I've always been very much a girly girl, but a girly girl who's good at math. And also likes to, you know, I love the outdoors. I love backpacking, getting dirty, hiking all day, but I also like painting my nails and makeup, and kind of always have, but recently I've gotten more into makeup because I work with all men. It's kind of a nice way, you know, to bring out my feminine side, I guess. But so I'm just filling this in. my feminine side, and also just, you know, it's kind of in a way like, oh, like, you know, I can still, I'm a woman, you know, but I can still also like do all that hard stuff too, you know, I can be both. So yeah, they look, so I always make sure they're even too. You can kind of do that, right? To kind of make sure they're even. So I'm gonna fill in this top part to kind of like make, see, this is all drawn in. Fill this in more, but I really wouldn't do this normally. Still very mad at myself that I fell. And ripped it also kind of hurt, but so yeah, these look pretty even, I would say. So the main things to watch out with your eyebrows, right? So you want to make sure these are even and that they're the same shape. So mine are actually a little bit off from each other. Just make sure you kind of see what I'm doing. A little bit off from each other. And you also want to make sure these two sides are of the same length. That's been a huge issue for me, is them not being the same length and looking kind of funky. So you really want to make sure, like this one typically goes out further. So just adding like a little extra on the side so that they're the same length on the outside. And kind of getting an idea for this too, you can ask friends, which is really helpful. So there's my eyebrows. So next, I really like this Wonder Beauty bronzer. I would say the Tarte bronzer too, which I have, and I have these in the lighter color. I'll show you guys this. This one's really good too, but I really like this one. I just got this one yesterday. But yeah, you kind of take a brush, like this kind of brush, and put it up here. Sorry guys, gonna have to look in the mirror. It's over here. And then on the other side. And you really want to get that into your forehead. Put a little bit more. So you can kind of see it. We're going to blend it in a little bit more than it is blended in now. Start there and then do it on the nose. This makes your nose look skinnier than it actually is. You can see that there. And you can, the forehead kind of brings your face in. Definitely do this. This really accentuates your cheekbones. A little bit more. A little bit more up here. You don't want to do too much, you don't want to do too little. I take a big brush and I kind of blend it in a little better. So trying to get this to look natural, right? So we don't want it to be too blaring. So I kind of just like it, you know, it's a natural, but it does bring in your face. So next, a blush. I really like this Tarte color. You want to go like a little darker than you think, which is interesting. So use the big brush. So you can also use a smaller brush with this too. I just want to go back and forth. Again, I'm not like super big, but definitely smile like this. Get those cheeks. And go up here too. Let's look in the mirror a little bit, sorry guys. See, it's kind of a natural look. Sometimes you want a little bit more on those cheeks. You can kind of use this kind of brush. But it kind of depends. I have some friends who really don't like a lot of blush. Some friends who do. I think it really depends on, like, you know, if you're going out or, you know, how much you want. But so it looks. So next, this stuff's pretty good. It's the Fairy Dress Pressed Highlighter by KoVoss. I don't really know. I got it from a friend, so don't really know much about it, but it works pretty well. I like the Tarte one as well. Does a pretty good job. Oh yeah, sorry. So I use a little brush. Just kind of grace the sides like that. We put a little bit more on that upper, a bit more here. And kind of blend it in a little bit, but just kind of, again, accentuates his cheekbones. So then I'm gonna go over again with this to kind of keep it all settled. So there's my face, it's all done. So it's definitely a really natural look, but it's like a heavy makeup, but a heavy makeup that's natural looking, which is kind of what, for me at least, what I'm kind of looking for. And I think a lot of people are. This is what I do if I'm going out too, right? But then I'm gonna make my eyes crazier than I am now. But yeah, I just have this. This is like the Revlon, like their top one, and it works pretty well. I've had it for quite a while. But I think there's some really good ones out there that I haven't really tried. This one works well enough for me. I'm just like, I don't want to buy a new one. But yeah, if anyone has like good ones that they recommend. But yeah, I would hold this for quite a bit just because I want those eyes. So I'm gonna use, love this stuff, their Real Tinted Primer by Benefit. It's amazing. Really recommended primer on my eyelashes. Has changed my life. It is amazing. I just kind of put it on. Make sure you really get those ends. So on days when I'm just like, I really want a natural eyelash look, I just put this on and it looks super natural. And it really does stay almost all day long. So definitely does better if you put another coat on it, but let's see, it's pretty amazing. So yeah, hold this for a little bit. The longer you hold it, it just kind of like keeps them crimped longer to get that mascara on them. Don't walk around though, don't rip your eyelashes out. Make sure you get those corners really high too. So I don't know what this looks like right now, but hopefully you probably can't really see me. You kind of saw with the other eye. But yeah, I'm just making sure I get those corners, especially because sometimes we miss those, and those are kind of like the important ones you actually really want to accentuate. So yeah, it's like pretty amazing stuff. Even if you just wear it by itself. But yeah, you want to let that dry. So while we let that dry, I'm going to do my lips. I really love this Melted Matte by Too Faced. This is amazing. It lasts all day long. It looks super natural and just adds a fluff to your lips. And another one that I am obsessed with, it's really natural looking, also stays on, is this Bella Prayer one. And I love this color. It's such a fun color, but it's like really natural, but it's like red. It's really fun color. But today, and it smells really good. It smells like vanilla. So, but today I'm gonna use this, the Melted one. And I love this color. This is a good color for me, but you should find what's kind of a natural lip color for you. And then it doesn't really look like you're wearing, you know, lipstick, but you are. and it really accentuates your face a little bit more. Find one too that lasts really long on your skin. So like these two last almost all day. You have to let them dry. Kind of make sure these corners too, right? So that's like the most important part is those corners and like how that kind of frames how you want your lips to look. So if you do thicker here, it's gonna go out. I think I went too thick on the edges for my taste. So when you do that, if you rub this pretty hard, it will come off because it hasn't really set yet. I kind of have it blurred out here. So yeah. Kind of wipe it. Kind of just touch it up. I go a little bit outside of where my lip is to kind of make it look bigger, particularly like here. And then you really want to fluff these. Those are the two most important parts. And I can do a video on how to contour your lips. So like when I'm going out, I'll contour them. And it will really add a life for the pretty thin lips, but it will make them look way bigger than they actually are. So these are pretty dry, I think. You can kind of tell by, don't have any mascara on there. I love this Better Than Sex mascara. The Benefit mascara is also amazing, so I would recommend both. But yeah, the Better Than Sex by Too Faced is amazing. Kind of get that end clean and go over. So yeah, it definitely adds. This also will make it stay longer. This will stay all day. Without the primer, it won't as much, and just the primer by itself too. But just this like double layering, like the primer is huge, having a primer. If I really want natural looks, I'll sometimes put 2 layers of the primer, let it dry, and then put another layer. You want to be light-handed when you're putting this on, right? Because we don't want to get clumpy. That's not what we're looking for. And again, on those ends, especially like that's where we really want it. So yeah, they look big and it's awesome. I put a little bit on the bottom, but that's totally up to you. I would recommend just like a tad, just so it matches the upper ones. You don't want them, I had pretty like long lower lashes, so I don't want to put too much on because I don't want it to be like, whoa. But some people like that, and then go for it. Like, do what you want to do. I'm gonna get this wet. I licked the other one because it was by my mouth, but don't really want to put that up here. Probably really shouldn't do it anywhere. It's a bad habit of mine. I'm sure people will say it's gross, so oops, but it is what it is. All right. So the last thing that I do is this, the Thrive stick, and I have this color, and it's It just has a little shimmer. It's amazing. I love this. It's the Brilliant Eye Brightener, and it's like really natural looking, but it's kind of just this little pop. So I kind of put it like this. So look at that, see? It's like really natural, but it adds a pop. You can even see it from back here. It makes your eyelashes look even bigger. Makes your eyes look bigger. Just gonna look good, do a little bit more in the mirror. I'll add a little bit down here. Kind of blend that in a little bit. But yeah, you can see the difference. It's amazing, and it's, I think it's $14 for this, and it's totally worth it. It lasts forever. This stays on all day. It's really, it's just, yeah. And I would say too, it looks good on like all skin types, all skin colors. Like it looks, I'm like, my friends tried it, I'm like, oh my gosh. And it looks really different too. And it's like, oh, it's so beautiful. Yeah, and they have like a darker one too, which is kind of fun. Would recommend. So yeah, so now I'm ready. This is my natural, like more makeup day face. So it looks pretty natural, but I definitely am wearing makeup. Yeah, if you guys like this, I'll post another video. Thanks for watching this really long video. That was 30 minutes long, yikes. But yeah, this is my makeup routine. Thanks.